Okay, I'm going to call this meeting to order. February 17th, 2026, 5:32 p.m. You'll all join me with the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, and if we can get an adoption of this.
I'll make a motion to adopt the agenda for February 17th, 2026 as submitted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Takes us into our first order of business, which is item A on informational and discussion items. Recognitions. Anybody on the board have any? Sandy, I saw your hand go first. You go first.
Okay. I wanted to say congratulations to our FFA group that got the Wickenburg Youth Group Award in the Gold Rush Parade. And to our girls basketball team, and even though they didn't win the first playoff game, they did get regional, and it's the best they've done in a long time. So, yeah.
Awesome. Just took my thing, but that's
She
okay.
stole my things.
Karen?
I have a couple. I would like to thank in a way, not just monetarily later, but to the teacher and students who got stuck in Flagstaff. So I want to thank specifically to that teacher and to Dr. Remendini, who got a hold of us very quickly and took care of that. It showed that we care for the safety of our children, our teacher, and I know what that's like for that to happen and kind of the scare inside for parents and principals and district people. So I was very appreciative with how that all went. So thank you to everybody with that. I was impressed with the turnout of the spelling bee, and I got to be a judge along with Sandy. And it was, Debbie, a good job. It was amazing. And the turnout I thought was very good. I think there were a lot more people there than just parents, which was good. So I wanted to thank our staff for doing that. And then just a shout out, later we'll see this in Garrett's report, but a shout out to our police for the class that they're going to do on vaping to our public. And so our police, along with our school police as well, I know that that's very needed at this time. And so when I saw that in his report, I wanted to give a shout out for them recognizing that that may be a problem and going forth to educate our public and our parents.
Very good.
Well, congratulations to boys soccer too. They also made playoffs, so I don't want to leave them out. And Sandy took my other things, and
I left soccer.
And thank you to everyone for the choir situation in Flagstaff, because Briley was there. She was one of the students. So, although she was sending me pictures in the snow and was all excited, so she didn't really care. It was fun. It was fun for her. But yes, that's it.
Ron?
Yes, I'd just like to recognize the Festival Foothills Elementary and their flag football team that got established this year, as well as looking forward to baseball and softball. So those things that they have never had there before. And earlier this year they had the co-ed soccer, which was the first also. Yeah. So yeah, they just wanted to shout out to them for that. And our culinary arts students that made all the cookies.
Yay, cookies.
That was very, very good as well. So yeah, that's what I have.
Well, Sandy did take part of mine, but I can expound on one of them. So that West region champs for the basketball, it's the first time in 5 years that our district has made it that far in any sport. So, hooray.
Ron has his hand up.
Excuse me?
Oh, I have an alibi. the wrestling, people. that
Oh, the
are going to
girls.
state,
Yes, the girls.
You know,
Oh,
How
yeah,
about that?
Arden.
Good things
I-
going on.
I had that on Colleen's report. But anyway, yeah, that's it. And I do want to do a shout out to, I'm going to let you do
No,
that.
you.
No, go ahead. So, Dr. Ramandine, it's your turn.
Oh, I have a few things. I'm probably going to repeat something, but I do want to congratulate Blake McDaniel, who won the district spelling bee. Blake's a fourth grader at Haskell Elementary School. And when I visited him and congratulated him in person on the district spelling bee, he goes, "It was 2 weeks ago." And I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And then I said, "Well, did you study hard?" And he goes, "I studied for about 10 minutes." So I'm like, he must be a genius, but it was funny. He called me out for being late on it. As out of the mouths of babes, so good for him. I do want to congratulate Jeremy Corliss, who's featured on the cover of the winter edition of EdTech magazine. So Jeremy was invited several months ago to contribute to the issue that focuses on how rural schools are attacking artificial intelligence. And so, as you all know, we've done a lot of work in Wickenburg, and he's represented as well. And he got the cover, and that's a pretty darn big deal because, well, yeah. And then the centerfold, look at that. Not even the centerfold. Look at that picture of our district.
Yes,
Isn't
I
that
know.
cool?
It's beautiful.
And anyway, and it's a great article. That's why he was embarrassed about it, cabinet the other day. We were teasing him about being in the centerfold of a magazine. But he's not, and he represented us well, and is likely going to get invited to present at a conference later this spring in Chicago for it. So, and our whole entire, you guys know our AI guidance committee. I mean, they're doing great things, so congratulations. I do want to give a shout out and thank and congratulate our Office of Exceptional Student Services, led by Teresa Marquez. They were notified that the district, I've got to read this right, has completed all of the necessary activities associated with our recent ADE program monitoring. This is a very long, arduous project, and everything came back. It was very complex. So thanks to all of that whole entire team for completing that. I could give a shout out all day long to all our athletic teams, but the basketball game, the Lady Wranglers the other night, was really exciting. I was exhausted because they didn't get over till 9. I was really tired. But they played great and did well. Our boys soccer team obviously made it to the playoffs. Not only did Festival have a flag football team this year, but Vulture Peak did as well. And Todd is our Vulture Peak flag football coach, and we had to do some coverage tonight so he could show up here to be at this meeting. But they're all having a great time and doing a great job. So, and congratulations to our wrestlers, in particular our lady wrestlers, who are doing really well. I think their season is over. I'll look for one more. Okay.
They go to state.
State, yeah, that's right. There's some that go state. Okay. And then special thanks and recognition to Hacienda Elementary and the Wickenburg High School FFA team that represented us in the Gold Rush Parade. They did a great job. And Sandy, thank you for confirming that our FFA team won the best student group, because I heard that, but I hadn't had a confirmation. So I put, it's my understanding. So it was great. It was a great show.
Well, if Facebook said it,
If it's on
it's
Facebook,
gotta
it's
be
true.
true.
So, yeah, we got a lot going on. It's been, a great month since we've been here, and lots more to do. So that's enough, right?
I think so. All right, thank you for all that. Item B is our presentation from Schneider Electric. And we've got Mr. Garrett Martin and Brandon somebody. Sorry, it's not written down. I don't know what it is.
Brandon somebody works. We'll keep it right there. Board President, members of the board, thank you so much for having us up here to present tonight. We are very excited to bring the results from our business case. We've been working with your district leadership for the last couple months to prepare some of these opportunities for you. So very excited. Again, tonight is just information only, no action item tied to this. So I'd love to give real quick, high level, who is Schneider Electric? What is it that we do, and kind of some of the conversations that have been had over the last few months. Schneider Electric, we're a very large company. We've been around for over 200 years at this point, have done almost $5 billion in energy projects, very similar to the one that we're going to be talking about this evening. We work very closely with a lot of K-12 schools, helping them identify other funding opportunities to go do capital improvements and infrastructure upgrades. And so one of the areas that we pride ourselves in, we come in as kind of the savings experts, help turn over a bunch of different rocks, help you figure out, hey, where do we have opportunities to save, primarily on that utility side, and then go put that money towards needed upgrades that the district has. And so we're here tonight to walk through kind of a sample project as we've been working with your team. What makes sense for the district right now? What are some of the areas of opportunity that we've already identified? And then really with the goal to hit on three main areas of significantly reducing the district's utility spend, as there are huge rate hikes coming soon for Arizona, especially on the water side here in Wickenburg as well. And it helped modernize the district with its infrastructure and its classrooms, and then tangibly address some other district identified goals that your team has come up with. So working with that team, they identified four main needs of improvement and direction that the district is looking to go in. Those four being increased safety and well-being, prudent learning environment, as well as an increased student attraction and retention. During our business case, we like to get out on site with the $50,000 man and his team and go get eyes on the facilities. And while we're doing that, we can go look for all the energy savings, but we like to look at it through the lens of kind of the district's direction. So we took these four things. Where can we go find a bunch of savings, and where can we have an impact in these four areas? So we put together a scope matrix. This is very high level look at what a sample project might look like, potentially. Now we'll go by memory.
Jeremy?
There it goes.
Oh, do we get it? Okay.
Sweet. So on the right side, this is the scope matrix, kind of all of the areas that we were looking at that have opportunity for again, the energy efficiency side, but also will have large impact in those four areas. That's a very busy slide. We're going to break that out into four sections and kind of go line by line and walk through, again, what this project could look like, starting with, real quick, if there are any questions at any point in this is, there's going to be a lot of information. Please go ahead and stop. Any questions at this point? Okay. All right, so starting with a lighting conversion, moving over to LED. This is really the easiest of the upgraded side. There's going to be very large energy savings tied to the LED retrofits, as well as a lot of impact to the district. So this is going to be kind of the low-hanging fruit of the project. When we look at the impact in the classroom, making sure that the students have the optimal amount of light within those classrooms, as well as giving a uniform approach throughout the entire district. So having all of the fixtures as well as the light colors and temperatures matching would be a huge improvement right now for the district as a whole. As we look at the outside of the facilities, we see a lot of underlit spaces and unlit spaces, specifically in the parking lots and the exterior of those buildings. So the goal would be to add some additional exterior lighting to make that not just a safer space, but a little bit more inviting space for not just the students, but the community that those buildings serve. And then lastly, when the time is right, taking a look at recommissioning some of the stadium lighting as well at the high school. As of right now, there's about 40 to 50% of the bulbs that are out. And so really giving that the facelift that it needs to serve the Wrangler football team and really give the community something to rally around that football field. So moving on to building efficiency. This is going to be a little bit less visible than the LED part of the project, but this is going to have a lot of the comfort elements that the students and the faculty will be in and around. So when we talk efficiency on the mechanical side, typically the biggest area of savings that we see is around making sure that your equipment is running when it needs to be running, but turned off when it doesn't need to be. So helping that system optimize the already existing automation system to help with the set points and make sure that you're not spending money heating and cooling a facility that's empty or not being used. As we look at some of the mechanical needs, We see a large need right now for an HVAC improvement around the district. A lot of the units are either at the end of their useful life or already past it, and so maybe adding a few of the critical HVAC units, maybe the ones at the high school gym, into this project. We look at some of the other facilities like the Round Gym, which has become very much a memorial and a monument for the town, but we don't really want it to close down just yet, but it does seem to be providing some unique problem-solving opportunities for the team here. And so letting our team come in and help make sure that the systems are in place to support that building, that the evaporative coolers aren't just leaking water, giving moisture issues to the entire facility. So helping support that building. And then lastly, looking at the total envelope of the building. So helping reseal those buildings, that the hot air that you're creating or the cooler air that you're creating inside the buildings is staying in the building. Next, we're going to talk about water conservation, which this one hits a little close to home, seeing as there was a recent $10,000 water bill that came across the desk in here. So our goal would be to help mitigate the opportunity for those $10,000 water bills and implementing some sort of a smart irrigation system that would come with a leak detection software to it. So that way Todd would know, hey, we've got a leak down at Festival Foothills, as well as remote access to turn those sprinkler systems off when it's raining, and he doesn't have to dispatch a unit to drive an hour just to turn off some sprinklers. As we talk about Festival Foothills, there is a few other opportunities as we look at artificial turf and desert xeriscape. Right now, there's a lot of work that is being put into that campus on the maintenance and ground side, and the district's not really seeing the reward of all of that work. Maybe there's not as much grass growing where we want there to be grass. There's weeds growing in places that we wouldn't, and we're watering those weeds. And so figuring out, is there places where it makes sense to have that beautiful desert landscape, and other areas that might be road facing or where the students like to congregate that you'd like to move into a little bit more of a finer touch that might look like the artificial turf. So saving a little bit of money there with the turf and the xeriscape, but also brightening up the front of those spaces. And so as a new family is coming into Festival Foothills and they drive by and see, hey, where's our elementary student going to go? The turf paired with maybe some of the new lighting just really creates an inviting space for these students to go and welcome them into kind of the Wickenburg family. As we look at some of the other campuses, specifically the Hassayampa campus, the playground currently is infested with a lot of goat heads. And as we did our site walk, our boots were covered in them. We could only assume that's a problem with the students as well. So continue to help create the right solution for those spaces. And that might look a little bit different than the festival place as well. Lastly, taking a look at the Schneider Suite of Services. This is kind of our catch-all for just all the extra areas that we would look to support during this project. Todd had a few wonderful ideas of a HVAC water reclamation program, using that water for something instead of just letting it evaporate, maybe implementing a composting program that the students could be a part of and learn from. We would love to help support there. Maybe it also looks like boosting the electrical capacity over at the vocational building to support all of the welding units that were donated. And then a few other areas. Again, we've got a big team. We have some resources that we would love for you to use, which is our national grants and rebates team, to make sure that you guys are applied for all of the possible free funding for projects like this, as well as a marketing and branding team that can really help set some districts up for future messaging, whether there's a future bond on the horizon or a bigger message that you are looking to spread to the community. And then lastly, some pretty cool student engagement opportunities, as we've got some pretty technical resources, maybe letting them come out and talk about energy and conservation with some of the students as well. So kind of a catch-all. So that is the end of our scope, the overall scope. Is there any questions before we get into kind of the fun part of the presentation? Yeah.
I do have one. Going back to the LED lighting. And this is just a generalization because Wickenburg is kind of unique. A lot of communities are, but we're in Wickenburg. Mm-hmm. We have a dark sky group.
Yes.
So LEDs are typically brighter.
Okay.
They last longer. So is all of that factored into this so that we don't get blasted by the community?
Yes. That is a part of the further conversations we'd want to have. So that's information. Hey, we're a dark sky city. We need to make sure that our parking light structures have the proper coverings to stay up to code and to meet those requirements. So we haven't taken that into account yet, but that definitely would be if we were to move forward into development.
Thank you.
Yes. Any other questions?
Good point, Joe.
Alrighty. So let's talk finances. We know that as what we're presenting right now is a sample project. This is some opportunities that we found across the sites. What would it look like to develop this scope? Again, this is just a very loose example of some very rough numbers. But we would expect to develop that project, it would cost around $2.7 million. That'd be a $2.7 million investment into the district with a return of around $7 million in savings coming back into the district's budget. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. Since you mentioned it, and it says the life cycle savings.
Yes, sir.
What would be a time frame of the life cycle?
Yes. So by statute, that life cycle savings cannot exceed 25 years. So for LED lighting, which is expected to last longer than 25 years, it can only go up to 25. For other pieces of equipment that may only last 10 years, that will be factored into that equation. So a max of 25, lower if it's different equipment.
Okay, so basically 25 years is the 6.9
Yes, sir.
million savings.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep. So with a payback of just shy of $7 million, which is pretty wonderful, we know, as far as James has let us know, there's not a $2.7 million check hiding around drawers. And so currently we're talking about what a phased approach would look like. These are all of the things that we've talked about are the direction that the district would like to go, but may not be able to do right now. And so is there a part of this project that the district could bite off now to get this ball rolling, to maybe address some of these things further down the line? So that'll be conversations later. That may just look like, let's tackle Festival Foothills, let's tackle a smaller portion or only part of this scope. So 2.7 is not what this project is going to end up looking like, but that would be the total of the sample. As we look at possible funding avenues that a lot of other districts use, they usually pull from a handful of different places. And it's usually not just one of these, but it may come from some capital reserves, some future or past bond money, sprinkle in some grants and rebates where we can find them. And then for the districts where it makes sense, that may be a municipal lease if the guaranteed savings are enough to support the reason to finance. But again, that is up to the people doing the project. Any questions regarding the financing piece?
I do.
Yes.
Did I hear you say a little bit ago that you have people, for instance, people to help lead in this possible funding source that partner, specific people that partner with us to help us on those different sources?
Yes.
Or is it left to the district to figure that out?
No, we would love to support you throughout the whole thing. So like I said, we have a grants and rebates team that will help support in that avenue. We also have a lady named Kim Alberson, who is a wonderful lady, who comes in and helps districts make sure that they're finding the best, if they were to finance, the best possible financing, and kind of goes to bat for a lot of these schools in that department as well, because not everybody is used to tackling those problems. So yes, we would love to support you throughout that piece as well.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Alrighty. Assuming that this project aligns well with the direction that the district is going, we really do believe that this would have a lot of tangible impact, especially in the 4 areas identified at the beginning of the presentation. We also would expect it to significantly reduce the utility spend that the district currently has and tee you up well for the rising increases in different rates, the rate structures around Arizona, as well as drastically improve the feel, the look, and the environment of Wickenburg as a whole. And then last touch point, for $2.7 million, seeing an ROI of 250% is a pretty awesome number. And so if that does all make sense, the ask would be moving towards moving this to an action item in a future board meeting, whether that's in March or a later time, to take a deeper look into some of the development of this project, which would be our investment grade audit, our IGA. And so if that is all that we have prepared for you tonight. If there are any other questions, please feel free to ask, and we'd love to jump into them.
Guess not.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Wonderful.
I just have one
Yes,
question.
go for it.
Down at the very bottom of that list was refurbish electrical transformers.
Yeah.
Just what were you referring to?
So when we did our site walk, there was a handful of transformers that looked just extremely old, and they've constantly got energy passing through them. They may be leaking energy. That would be something we would like to take a deeper look at in the investment grade audit of, does it make financial sense to replace some of the transformers?
Okay, you're talking the electrical transformers that belong to APS or transformers that have to do with.
If it's owned by, we would love to learn more about it. If it is owned by APS, then definitely not having you guys pay to replace that. But if it's owned by the district, then maybe adding that into the project.
Because if it's, transformers, those are APS.
Yeah.
So, that kind of just tickled my little brain there.
Well, wonderful. Yeah, if it's district owned, we'd love to keep looking at it. If it's APS, we'd scratch it off pretty quickly. So,
Yeah, guess we'd have to figure out what transformers we were talking about. Okay.
Karen's got a
I
question.
have one question. Your second bullet on that screen, no cost for an IGA unless the district decides not to proceed. What is the cost of an IGA?
So for that sample project, which was $2.7 million, if we were to go develop all of that, the exit fee, assuming that you didn't move into the development of the project, would be $48,000. That would be us taking the total development cost and splitting it between both of our parties, 50-50. So a little bit of skin in the game from both parties.
And that's only if we would not proceed.
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
of course. Anything else?
That's it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your
Thank
time
you.
tonight.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Garrett.
All right, item letter C, principal reports. We've got the Wickenburg High School and Mr. Garrett Mayer, principal.
Good evening,
Good evening.
President Malio, members of the board, Superintendent Ramondini, and members of the Wickenburg District and community. Good to see you all. Once again, I am pleased to be here and grateful for the opportunity to share a little bit about what's going on at Wickenburg High School. Before we get into the board report, wanted to share a couple of things, including some things that weren't available upon submission of. We've got some new, fun, exciting info to share. So with that, first I want to talk a little bit about where we are just as a school. I researched, I think it was the 1963 yearbook. We've got a bunch of yearbooks in our front office. And in the 1963 yearbook, we were trying to find something motivating and inspiring, and their senior motto was "Not at the top, but climbing." And we found that to be kind of a great motto for us this school year, that we've got a lot of work to do, but we are certainly climbing. So I hope that was present in our board report, and really, we're working hard to leverage leadership within our building to really make the improvements that we want to make, and make sure that we're making strides and changes in the right direction to get the best out of our people and the best out of our kids. So with that said, as I said, I do want to highlight a couple of items that you were all talking about earlier that are fresh off the press. One is our girls basketball team. As you know, we're region champions. We also had two make the first team all region, and then one player make second team all region. We had the region player of the year in Mallory Murphy, and the region coach of the year in Coach Ronnie Buchert. So very exciting news.
How's Mallory doing?
She's doing okay. Yeah, she was back at school today. So thank you for asking. And then in boys soccer, we had 3 athletes make first team all region, 5 make second team all region, and we had the region defensive player of the year in Adrian Soto as well. And then in girls soccer, 1 first team all region and 2 second team all region. So a great showing for our Wrangler athletics beyond the region championships and beyond making the state playoffs. Really, that recognition around the region in 2A West for our athletes was tremendous, and they did a great job. So definitely worthy of recognition. With all that said, I'll take any questions on the board report.
Okay, so let's start with Karen. Do you have anything for
Okay.
Garrett?
I did bring up and talked a little bit with Dr. Ramondini, so I just wanted you to address a little bit. I know the first time we see benchmark is in November, and it's really for August. It's the August benchmark. And so this is the second time for your report, and so now we see December benchmark. And I'm sure you have the same, so I just wanted to bring it out. I wanted to make sure that we notice that more students are in our red and yellow not passing area on the benchmark now in December than in August, and that is obviously a concern for everybody. I know you're working on a lot of things to make that different. I just wanted to be able to say that and get thoughts on it.
Absolutely. I appreciate, again, yeah, your concern is my concern as well. So I appreciate you bringing that up. So 2 things I would share on that. First is, I think, yeah, the timing, as you noted, the timing is a little bit odd on our reports and our benchmarks. We are actually fresh off of benchmark 3. I was hoping to have that today, and things are looking up for sure, and I'm happy to provide that to the board in regard, or in kind of comparison to benchmark 2. Benchmark 3 is looking better in certain areas for sure. That's something that really in that November range, it was about mid-November at our PD day. We have 2 groups of teachers that are meeting around data. The first is a grade level team meeting where they get in to grade level teams. If you're the 9th grade English teacher, PE teacher, math teacher, every 9th grade teacher is getting together and really focusing in more than anything on specific kids and why those specific students are falling through the cracks. Are we seeing that in all areas? Are we seeing that in just one area? The other kind of side of that is our collaborative teams, which are by department. And so beyond looking at students specifically, departments are looking at, what do we see trend-wise on the benchmark versus what we're seeing on our own assessments in class versus what we're seeing, in my class versus yours, and kind of all those things that play into, why is our data looking like this? And for us, one thing that I stress a lot with our teachers is, we have to be honest with ourselves about the data, even when it hurts, right? And in doing so, we really work to interrogate our systems and our practices and our instruction, right? And all those things to make sure that we're getting the best instruction that we can in front of our kids. And that takes time, right? And takes a lot of work, but, we are certainly not, I think, blind to the fact that what was maybe tried and true at one time is not necessarily tried and true now. We're coming together actually this Friday to do a lot of work around some collective commitments around instruction to make sure that we really set a standard for what we want that classroom experience to be at Wickenburg High School. And our hope certainly is that with increased alignment across every classroom and content area, that we are taking steps in the right direction when it comes to the data as well.
I think that's a great idea. And I've been in your shoes, so that's a tough question actually for me to ask because I've been in those shoes. And so thank you for that because I know it's always something that we're looking at. I wanted to give a shout out to your new horseshoe idea that you have in there. So I wanted to know, what are those made of?
Yeah, so they are metal horseshoes.
Oh, they are metal.
They're small, okay. Yeah, so they're about 3 inches by 4, I want to say.
About like that.
So we, for a long time, and for those of you that read the report, so we, for about 25 years, had done tiles that are kind of all together for the seniors. We're looking to do something a little new and creative around campus. We're going to have them write their names on horseshoes, and then those are going to be, we haven't quite decided on a spot. I think I shared that in the board report, but we are 95% sure about where they're going to go. It's just a matter of the logistics of kind of making sure they're fastened and are weather resistant. But we have some cool ideas, and I appreciate that so much. And I think, for 25 years of doing one thing, we're excited to embark on a new, the next 25.
What a great idea. That was good.
Appreciate that very much.
Good. That's all I have.
Sandy?
Okay. My question is, it says we have, tutoring for the math and the ELA and stuff. How many students actually take advantage of it?
Absolutely.
I mean, it's there, but is anybody using it?
Absolutely. So two things I would share on that. On average, our average is pretty low before school. And a lot of that, I think, centers around transportation. A lot of times, though, there are students that get there from the bus around between 7 and 7:15. And so they kind of have a leg up, if you will, to attend some of those morning tutoring sessions. Our average in the morning, if I'm not mistaken, is in and around, I would say, 8 or 10 for math. in particular. I wouldn't say that's daily. I would say that's across the week. There's about 10 kids that need support that are attending in the morning. In the afternoon, it's definitely much more, I think that, yeah, the average is higher, both in, I would say, math, English, and writing as well, just as a general writing tutoring. Those on average, we've got about 20 to 30 kids a day that are participating in some 21st century program. The majority of those are academic focused. And so there's about 7 kids that consistently do coding. And there's a few more kind of smaller groups around, but the majority of them are either in math support or English support or writing support at the end of the school day. And then the last layer of that is during the day, we have that 5th period time as well, where teachers at this point, as we're approaching the ACT, are pulling kids and keeping them with them on a 3-week cycle. And so if they called you today for some math support in preparation for the ACT and some state testing, you're going to be with that teacher once or twice a week from now through the next 3 weeks. If you show improvement, you're doing well, great. We're pulling some new students. If not, you may end up back in there along with that advisory time as well. So a couple different layers around there, but I would say the most bang for our buck that we get currently, I would say is that 5th hour time and that after school time, where we're averaging 30 about after school. And then during the advisory time, I want to say they're pulling somewhere in the range of anywhere between about 10 to 15, I would say, twice a week.
Okay, because I think it's marvelous that we have these programs, only if somebody's using them.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, and this is kind of a silly thing, just because I'm curious. You had awarded somebody the soup of the day, and somebody won it. You didn't tell us what soup it was or who won it.
I sure can. Our campus, as I learned very quickly, loves food and loves a potluck, and you picked the right guy for that campus. So with that said, we did a food challenge. It was called the Super Bowl, which was a soup-centric challenge. The soups were varied and vast, and were very, very good. The soup that won was Shauna Schaefer, who's our admin assistant in the front office. Her soup was an Italian sausage, spicy type soup. It was really good. Like creamy. Yeah, you got it. So it was very good, and she was awarded the...
I don't know. We weren't invited.
I'm so sorry. Next time. I'm so sorry. But she was awarded the purple spatula, which is an obnoxious-looking trophy with a spatula glued on top. It's a good time.
But I thought, well, I know, I don't know everybody in this school district, and it's like, well, she won, but who is it, and what did she make?
Good.
She did. So I'll make sure to include our next
yes, next time at
food
least include
challenge
her
on
name.
page 1. You got it. Thank you for asking. We were very excited about the Super Bowl. I appreciate that.
Good. Very good. Next time we're available.
You good, Sandy?
Yes, that's all for now.
All right. Susan?
Yeah, I was just curious at what the growth was between benchmark 1 and 2, but it sounds like Karen looked and it wasn't growth. It was negative. So okay. But yeah, I mean, overall, I know it's difficult, and having a student that takes these things as well, I get that it depends on the day and time that you give the kid the test as well. But I do like seeing, close to 40% passing. Maybe we're getting a little better there. Obviously, I like seeing all the updates and everything, and realistically, looking for academic growth is important. So, but yeah, great report.
Thank you. And I will share on that note as well, in benchmark 3, which at least in its infancy, the 2 or 3 that I was able to look at today, we're seeing a lot of growth of kids jumping from partially proficient to proficient, which is the sweet spot, right? They're kind of getting over that hump that we hope they do, right? It's like, obviously we hope our minimally proficient students are improving as well, but we saw quite a bit of growth and did some cool celebrations these past few days around some of those kids that for the first time this year made it to the proficient mark. So
Great.
And the musical's coming up.
it is.
Yes.
Ron?
Yeah, I was just curious, and the enrollment drop, do you have any idea of where some of those students disappeared to?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Here's the good news is none of them disappeared where we don't know where they are, what they're doing. So we had 10 that transferred to Wickenburg Virtual Academy. Many of those are seniors who are partially credit deficient, not an entire year behind, and I'll talk about that in a second as well. But we had several at semester, which to my knowledge, and in speaking with Ms. Peterson, is fairly common at the January mark, that we have a few, a little bit of an influx into WVA from the high school. So 10 of our 21 were accounted for there. We had 7 that were from, and I apologize, my little thing logged out here. We had 7 that were kind of diverse familial issues, and then we had 4 that moved outside of Wickenburg, 3 of which were out of state, and then 1 was across the valley with another parent. So about 11 that were kind of in that range of something occurred within their family that unfortunately led them to withdraw.
All right, great. I was just curious what
Absolutely
what they went. This maybe not exactly for you, but where did we end up at the 100 day?
So, Mr. Alexander, Jeremy's going to pull that data, and I'll put it in my weekly report.
Okay.
We didn't have it this morning at Cabinet, so I'll make sure to share that with
Where
everybody.
that, how compares to last year?
Mhm.
Okay, great, thank you. Yeah, the horseshoe, I picked up on the horseshoe thing, because I think, like you said, the cafeteria's getting kind of full of tiles. And so it was, but that's, I think it's a unique idea to the horseshoes. It'd be interesting to see how you're going to mount them and display them out there with,
Let me know. You're welcome. Share an idea.
one of the things I picked up on that I was really impressed and glad to see is the parent involvement that you have with the parent council group, the council itself, and how many are consistently involved and working on the absenteeism efforts there. That's I know that's one of the things that kids can fall through the crack if you don't chase them. So yeah, okay. Well, that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Alexander.
So wrapping that part up, I was going to bring up the enrollment as well. I was doing a little history lesson on my own for the high school. This is no reflection because you just got here. Actually, it's not a reflection on any of our past principals because it's just the way enrollment is in Arizona right now, probably further than Arizona, but just from last year we lost 63. And at one point, and I think it was 2019, we had 593 enrolled, and now we're down to 341. Again, it's not your fault, but got to try to figure something out. We got gift cards or something.
Starbucks
There you go.
works with high schoolers, just saying.
And then I had a question about the benchmarks. Karen got close to it, and I don't know if she actually hit on it. I didn't catch it. Are February benchmarks available yet, or?
Just about.
Okay.
We just gave, upon submission of the board report, we had given the first that day, and then for the remaining of the week last week, and then we were doing makeups today to ensure that we had all kids accounted for. I'm happy to provide that information to the board as well through Dr. Revendini upon request. I would be happy to do that. I will say, as I mentioned earlier too, there are small pockets of I think positive data in and throughout there that we did not necessarily see in benchmark 2.
Because what I'd really like to see from that, so my official request when it comes available, I'd like to see that.
To clarify, that will be in his April board report. Would you like that before then? Because it's always going to be lag behind.
I realize that part.
You'll see it'll be fresh for the elementary principals next month because they will have just finished it. So this would typically be in the April,
Yeah, that's fine.
his April report.
That's fine. because I'd really like to see us use less red or whatever color that officially is,
Mm.
and go into the yellow, orange, or whatever that is, into the green. That'd be awesome.
I would
That's-
agree.
That's all of our
Yeah.
goals, I understand. But I'd really like to see more of that, because it's kind of at that part of the school year where we need to have the colors drift that direction, you know, which is a common goal of all of us, I know. But otherwise, I don't have, because all my colleagues had hit everything else, just good information.
Mr. Malio, I have
Yes.
one more question, Garrett, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
In your report in November, you spoke of, or you had a flyer in there for the English parent adult classes. And they were just getting started, I believe. So I went back to that and I wanted to see, how's that going? The adult classes on your
Great,
campus?
Great. So for our English language class, we had 14 that signed up and attended that initial, and then 12 attend consistently across the duration of that. And then for our other parent involvement night, which was coupled with our open house or our future freshman night, we had a squid dissection, which was super cool in
cool.
partnership with the Arizona Science Center.
Mhm.
That was a blast. And
Good.
yeah, it was N2. I only know through pictures because I was out
Right.
taking care of our new daughter. But we had 14 parents, and then in total had 31, I believe, people attend that event
Very
as
good.
well, which is a combination of parents, community members, students, and staff as well.
Are those parent classes continuing throughout the year, or when do they end? Are they for a certain time period, or?
Yep. So the English language class is once a month. So the first 3 or 4 are weekly, and then beyond that, I
Once a
believe it's a
month.
monthly. And then in addition to that, in the spring we have a couple of we have a college prep course coming up, and then as was mentioned earlier, the vape and opioid awareness class where parents who attend will go home with with Narcan, with a kit, essentially from our partners at Wickenburg
Wow.
PD and Wickenburg Fire Department, who have very generously donated both their time and their resources to provide to parents.
Very good. Thank you. Appreciate that.
That'll be
update.
Thursday at 5 if you want to attend.
Anything else? All right.
Excellent.
Thank you, Garrett. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Great report. And then next we've got Wickenburg Virtual Academy and Mrs. Colleen Peterson. Good evening.
Good evening.
So, Ron, do you want to start with the Virtual Academy?
Yes, the only question I have is, for the students that are at festival, taking that, what grades are those?
So the ones that regularly attend the lab on Wednesdays are 9th graders.
Okay,
And it's not the same 9th graders every Wednesday, but 1 or 2 every Wednesday. And then we do have 1 5th grader, but because he's a 5th grader and we don't really want our 9th grade and our 5th grade together, he doesn't ever really utilize that lab.
okay, because you said there were 5.
Yeah.
5 students down there, but they're all 9th graders.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, didn't we have a high school student or something there last time that you reported on, or was it, am I thinking of something else?
So we started the lab down there on Wednesdays. Mrs. Morales has been going there since August.
Okay.
And so she's there every Wednesday for
Okay.
the students to come in.
Okay, for some reason I thought there was one high school student
Oh,
that you reported.
You know, we started this year with 4
Okay.
9th graders, and then in January picked up a 5th one, and then
Okay.
picked up the 5th
And
grade.
it was, yeah, I was thinking it was like an upper level high school, maybe I just, assumed that as a.
And then we'll do state testing down there so that they won't have to ride the bus up to the lab in Wickenburg. We'll do our state testing with them down there as well.
So they're taking all of their high school classes through the virtual academy?
Correct.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
All right, Susan, do you have anything for Mrs. Peterson?
No. I mean, I know what's going on. It looks good. Thank you. What?
We're laughing at you, we're laughing with you.
Okay. I just have down here, grade on meeting fall goals. And was really a good report.
Yeah, we
sounded
were excited about that.
very
Yeah.
good report, and so I'm glad somebody's doing well.
You know, it ebbs and flows throughout the years, but this particular student group that we have, 9th through 12th grade, even though it's less than what we've had before, they are more academically engaged than we've had in the past. So that's very exciting for us, that there are the few that we're chasing, but there are fewer that we are chasing.
And I'm happy to see that you're following through, that if they're not coming and they're thinking around, that they're out.
Right, right.
You know,
the ones that we
because
transferred out. Yeah.
everything has to have consequences, and if
Mm-hmm.
we say they have consequences and we don't have consequences, then don't have consequences. So I'm happy to see that too, but yeah, I was very impressed that they did so well.
Karen?
I had one question, in your report, as far as, in district versus out of district, because any student in the state of Arizona can
Right.
be there.
Right, yeah.
So I just wondered, of these now at 44,
Mm-hmm.
we know where 11 of them came from, right? But where is that line?
So the two students that came to us from out of district, one came from Estrella Foothills because the student moved from one parent household to a different parent household. And then the second one came from Paradise Honors, just wanted to try online and chose our online program. And then all of our students initially started with us within our boundaries, but we have one that has since moved to Prescott, the family has moved, and two that have moved to Mesa.
So we have, but they're still in the program. So we have 4, did I count that right?
No, so one's in Prescott and 2 are in Mesa. And the other 2 that came from,
Estrella?
Estrella would be the 4th one, correct.
So we
yes.
do have 4 out of district
Correct.
boundary
Mhm.
students in our program.
Mhm.
Okay,
Correct.
thank you.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's
You
all.
were, yeah, okay.
That's all I got.
So going last, I usually don't have a lot to say. They covered it for me. But I do have a question about the communication. I'm a marketing type of person.
Yes,
So getting that Facebook page rejuvenated would be awesome.
yes.
The last posts I saw was like 2022.
If that, yes. So I did reach out to Rose, and her memory is vapor. And we thought Valerie Shumway.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I could use some guidance on how we can kickstart that if it's a new page. I don't know what that looks like, but absolutely from our when we did our site council, that was one of the key things that the parent and student had brought up, was like, you need more online presence
Definitely.
in our school district. And so that has been a challenge for me to get that going. So Casey has a secret backdoor to Facebook for us. So yes, for sure.
And plenty of time.
Okay.
And then the website, I'll admit I didn't get to the active website.
That's good. I need to do some work.
Because I think what will be awesome on there is because pictures sell a lot of things. So if you put these athletes from WVA onto your website and show them that there's something else they can do except sit behind a computer or sit in front of a computer, I think that would be awesome, and sell it a little bit more. You know? But otherwise, great. I love seeing the percentages, and we're above. Let's stay there.
Yes.
And let's see, you're at 44 right now. I think last year at this time, didn't we have 56? Or no, it's not that time of year yet, is it?
No.
Because that's coming. We know that.
Yeah. We'll see.
And whenever whenever Garrett lets some of those high school kids say, okay, you're not quite making it, we have a plan. And then they dial your extension, and all of a sudden you got 50 some kids again. So we know that's coming.
We'll see how it goes for
But,
that last block for sure.
Yeah. But otherwise, great report.
Thank you.
Appreciate it very much. And keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, now we move into call to the public. And I have Mr. Dr. Lawrence Serrano. would like to talk about the Desert Caballeros grant. Good evening.
Good evening. Well, I just wanted to follow up a little bit. I've presented myself in front of the board before. I'm a native Arizonan, grew up across the valley at a school that used to compete with Wickenburg in all the sports in the 50s and 60s. And I'm a proud parent of two students that graduated from Wickenburg when the school first opened, Lauren and Alex. One was a valedictorian here and went on to Dartmouth College and helped design the water treatment system at the high school and got grants and stuff. So I feel that my core belief after my mother being president of the school board for 20 years is that we have an obligation to educate our students in school, and it reflects the community we are, and how strong our community is how well we support our students. And so what I'm doing is trying to be a bridge between the community and the school. And in the past, we donated $10,000 for a hydroponic tower to enrich the ag education. And we're ready to donate another $16,000 to create a welding stations for the ag. And as you know, there's a lot of competition for students in a lot of different arenas in Arizona. It's probably the most liberal conservative state in the union as far as opening up taxpayers' funds to private education. So thinking about the connection between the community and the school is ultra important to create programs that excel and bring the students in. We're in an area that's ranching and farming, and we're in a rural area with horses, and the students have a want for agriculture education. And by providing them a center of excellence for them to work in, you enable them and empower their interest to go on to be veterinarians, to go on to be equine scientists, to go on to be ecologic members, and all the other things with a hands-on education. So, you know, my goal has been to improve the agriculture and CT education by donating money that we raise from the community and the Desert Caballeros horseback ride, the people that come there and look at Wickenburg as part of their community. Some of these men have been on the ride 50, 60 years, and asking them to enrich our community by supporting our students in the thing that they love, horses and agriculture, I think is a bonus for the community and therefore for the school. So, you know, but our idea is not just pouring, I have to go out and sell the school to these people to donate money. So I become a steward in making sure that money is spent correctly and that we're not supplanting district funding or WestMec funding, but we're supplementing the funding. And I just want to make sure that our monies in the past and the monies that the student through Perkins 5 actually gets delivered to the students, and that I can't support all the programs in the school, but if we can make one shine through our donations, that's going to draw the students in. And, you know, as you guys talk about decreasing enrollment, part of it is to create a program that draws the students to the school. And we're willing to do that. But again, we need from our finances and our stewardship of the foundation, we need to have good memorandums of understanding to make sure that the money gets to where it needs to go, and also a little bit of clarity on the funding and how WestMec and Perkins 5 money flows on a student, what is the average weighted amount that goes to each student, and making sure that the students get the money that they're entitled to, and that we're supplementing that entitlement instead of supplanting the entitlement or supplanting the funds. So, you know, our goal is, again, we've budgeted over $16,000 for a new welding program at the high school to entice and enrich the education experience. Our CTE ag teacher loves to teach welding, so it encourages her to help grow the program and keep the students. The students that you have in FFA leadership are some of the strongest students probably in your school system, and we want to partnership with the school as a community organization to help the school funding problems with creating programs that actually draw the students in.
Good.
So we're working with Barbara to get this through so that we can raise more money, because every time we donate to the school, we let all the people know how much we're improving the school, which creates this, clarity for them that their monies are actually going to the students and the programs that they want it to go to. We're a nonprofit 501c3. All the money that gets donated to us in turn gets donated to the school in the programs that are set aside. So we have a big handle to be able to enrich in the school. We just need clarity and a little bit of access to make sure that we're supplementing and not supplanting the monies that the students deserve.
All right, well, thank you very much, Doctor. Appreciate your time and efforts and money. Excuse me. All right, next item is a consent agenda. Any board members need anything pulled from the consent agenda before taking action? Hearing that, we can entertain the motion.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda items for February 17th, 2026 as submitted.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. All right, action item A is request for approval of financial reports presented by Executive Director of Business Services, Mr. James Scott.
Thank you, Mr. President. Board members, you have in your board package the January 2026 business office report. As you can see, our maintenance operations expenses were around $847,000, pretty much in line with the prior fiscal year. Our capital expenses were $100,061. Our unique over $10,000 expenditures was EduPoint renewal. That's our Synergy Student Information System, $21,000. Syntel Technologies, new wireless access points for $10,900. That was our portion of E-Rate. E-Rate paid for the rest of that. A new Ford Bronco purchased from Peoria Ford for $33,696. Second Gear LLC was a purchase of new Dell Chromebooks, $10,828. And then Fire Security and Electronics, that was for testing of our fire systems and annual update of equipment and so forth, was $10,305. Compliance matters, we did submit our employee W-2 forms to our employees, and our employer copy was filed with the IRS. Our vendor 1099s were completed and submitted to the IRS. Our annual statement of assurance was submitted to the Arizona Grants Management, and our federal annual SAM.gov report was completed, and as Ms. Hodges can contest, that is no easy task, but it's done, so we can receive federal grants by 27. Any questions?
Hi, how are you, James?
I'm well.
I just have a question on the cost of the inspection for the fire system. So do they do something to the equipment? Do they upgrade any of the equipment, or is that just the cost to go around all of the
I'm going to answer this as best I can, and if Mr. Zaccato has a better answer, I'll let him jump in. So I did compare the cost to last year, and it's about the same. And this is the inspection of the entire fire system and then replacement of our fire extinguishers and other replaceable equipment. Did I get it, Mr. Zaccato?
The high school.
All right.
At the high school.
Yeah, that's just the high school.
That's only the high school?
That's only the high school.
I'm in the wrong business.
But the crown gym, all that stuff just got replaced, right?
Correct. That had some new fire equipment put in. That was a couple
Yeah.
months ago, yeah.
Yeah.
That was an emergency.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
we were
yeah,
having
yeah.
problems, so yeah.
Unfortunately, they're really the only ones in town, so there's not a lot of competition, so.
Okay.
SAM.gov is you have to have a
Maybe this
federal
is
ID
idea,
number
Joe.
to receive federal funds, and it just assures that we don't have criminals on our payroll and that type of stuff.
I had one that I did talk to Dr. Remendini about, and I just said I was gonna probably just throw it out and ask. Our monthly, unrestricted capital for this month compared to this month last year is a big difference. Is that because of the 80,000 that's listed below?
Every one of those purchases capital.
Unrestricted capital?
Yeah.
But those were not purchases made in January last year?
Well, EduPoint would have been, but the bill might have come in a different month.
Okay,
Like,
that's
yeah,
what I'm saying,
yeah.
different month probably.
Yeah, the Peoria Ford was unique. Sentinel was unique. Fire
100,000 to 3,000 was a huge difference. so I just-
All those are capital expenses.
Thank you.
So tell me about Peoria Ford. What was that again?
It
Did I
was
hear
a
the
new
word Bronco?
white fleet vehicle. We bought a Ford Bronco. It's being stationed at a festival for the festival. That car was pretty much on it.
It's not for the board president.
You, Joe.
I tried.
Why? Anyway, thank you. I
Thank
thought I
you.
heard Bronco, but I thought, wait a minute. Our white buses don't say Bronco on them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So white fleet, and then
Gotcha.
actually comparatively, it was a well-priced vehicle for what we needed. Yeah, it was. Yeah, did well.
Good. All right.
And just to add to that, our technology team didn't have any way to carry equipment back and forth. So that's what they needed too. It's just,
Mm-hmm.
that we needed it. Trust me.
Now, is this the vehicle that Mr. Bub will drive up when he comes up to Wickenburg to do some work?
Yes, but it's not Mr. Bub's vehicle.
Does it have the logo on the door?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I actually saw it.
Oh, you did.
All right, perfect.
It's actually parked under one of the lights. It is.
And that'll be much brighter after
Later.
the 2.7.
Yes, exactly.
I've been looking. Garrett, I didn't see it yet. There's not
Yeah.
a check down here yet.
No, it's a.
Yeah.
It's hiding.
Right. All right.
Okay.
So we've got that. Now we need to
Yep.
do our thing. Go ahead.
I'll make a motion to approve the financial reports as submitted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Item B, action item, first reading of policy advisories listed in that printout that you have. I'm not gonna read all those. So that is the first reading. Anybody have any discussion? Well, it's pretty darn easy. All right, so no motion on that until next meeting. Now we go into some fun stuff. Governing board to discuss, well, it's bittersweet fun stuff. The governing board to discuss and may approve
fun.
a contract for Dr. Michael Sievertson for the position of district superintendent. Can we get an official motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the employee contract for Dr. Michael Sievertson for the position of district superintendent.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries.
Welcome.
Sandy's got a look under her.
Yeah, what's that look for?
I was just thinking what Barbara talked to us before that.
She did it. It's good.
I did it.
Okay,
So
okay.
did it right, yeah.
It's like, I didn't hear that, but go ahead.
First, I don't get a Bronco, and then I get a look like that. It's like, what's going on here? This
It's
isn't
your
the right
lucky day,
meeting.
Joe.
This is only a dream, I know. Anyway, so I'd like to introduce our incoming new superintendent, Dr. Michael Sievertson. Now, 6 years ago, I didn't do it this way, but I think what we're gonna do is, if you'll come up, we'll sign this while we're in session.
6 years ago, it was COVID, and we were doing this remotely.
True.
No, we were still here in
Come on up,
February.
please.
We didn't do it till March.
Oh.
So this is the document we went back and forth on, so if If you want
Dr.
to go
Remendini,
through-
please make sure that ASBA understands from all of us that their leadership and guidance through that whole process
Casey, hold on.
was good, was amazing. So please let them know on behalf of our
Absolutely.
board, because
That's
it's
okay.
important.
I got one. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, she got a better one, better angle.
No, you gotta get this one. You have to take that one. For that one. Yeah, I know.
Oh, hold on.
Wait till
I gotta
next
get Jill to
January.
sign
Wait till January.
Oh, Susan, take one without me.
it. I knew you were gonna say that.
Is this?
You're still in it.
Apple that you
You can be
just
cut
go
out.
and
Yeah, remove these.
remove those.
It's gonna look more stupid with me sitting back here.
You just have to deal,
It will.
ask AI to clean it up.
Yeah, Casey, I can help Casey do that.
Do you want to take a blank with you?
Yes, sir.
You know, one of my high school,
Thank you.
one of my kids that was on my, was in my high school in Arkansas. 10 years old, is now running for the board.
You're welcome. Welcome to Wickenburg.
Congratulations.
Lawrence, have you heard anything more from Bill? Bill? Okay.
That American Sign Language changed it.
Okay.
Okay, let's finish.
All right, so moving along, or finalizing, informational items, item A, which would be items for future agendas. Okay, then we'll go on to B, announcements and calendar. Casey was very busy and gave us a ream of papers with calendars, schedules, and all the important dates that we need to know. So I never forget again.
I just wanna, the last meeting I think we were at, that we were up here, we got the save the date for a dinner. I think, a dinner and a play. I didn't commit that to memory and I can't find my little piece of paper.
April 23rd.
23rd.
Okay,
It's
I'm
on
gonna write
there.
that down.
It's a Thursday.
That's our annual partner district dinner.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Thank
on
you.
our district.
And the
events.
Adams
Oh, it is
family.
on there?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
Is that what they're doing, the Adams
I
family?
just wanna make sure I had it. on
Brad
my-
is Grandma Adams.
Oh,
All right, so we can come to the last item of business, always my favorite.
I moved to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.